Hey everyone, this is David Brown with the migration update for April 21st, 2022 from the Braddock Bay Hawk Watch. Today was overcast with strong winds that started from the south, and then we had some mid-morning rain showers that put down the flight, and then the winds were southwest and strong most of the day, but the flight never really picked up too much because of the gloomy conditions. Finally, around 5 p.m., a little bit of sunshine started to come out, and I ended up staying 2 extra hours until 7 p.m. because we had a little bit of a flight pickup with the partly sunny skies and winds that were becoming lighter and shifting more westerly. I took a lot of bird photos today, so I'm going to try to get through these as quickly as possible. Here is one of the new species for the season that we had today, which is chipping sparrow. Here we have a Caspian tern that gave us a nice look as it flew by the platform in the morning. And here we have a group of wood ducks with one female in the front and the rest are males. And I kind of like the way that this one's crown, or whatever you want to call that area, is sticking up. Here we have another new species for the season, and this bird actually landed on the corner of the platform and was chipping, and as soon as I turned around, it flew and landed on the ground. But this is a savanna sparrow. So you see it's stripy, kind of like a song sparrow, but it's really thin striping, and the beak is a little different, but especially the thing that stands out is this yellow above the eye. So, savanna sparrow. Here we have a juvenile peregrine falcon. So, see the pointed wings that all falcons show, and if this bird were perched, there would be vertical streaking. Here we have another falcon. This is a male American kestrel, and we know it's a male just because of the coloration with the blue and black wings and orange back. Here we have one that wasn't completely new for this season. I saw one of these over at Frisbee Hill like a month ago, but this is a yellow-rumped warbler. And the one thing that stands out on yellow rumps, a lot of people think, well, I need to see the rump. Well, no, probably the most distinctive yellow patch is actually in this area here. You might call that the wing pit area, or it's kind of their side, where the body meets the wing. They have these yellow patches on both sides that's quite distinctive. Here we have an adult red-tailed hawk, so dark patagial bars, belly band, dark trailing edge, and red tail. Here we have a breeding plumage common loon. Here we have a barn swallow, and again, barn swallows are our only swallows that have these long forked tails. Here we have a nice topside view of a juvenile sharp-shinned hawk. Remember, the juveniles are brown on top. The adults are more of like a grayish blue. And here we have a turkey vulture, and most of the day we weren't seeing too many turkey vultures just because of how gloomy it was. But at the end, when the sun came out, we did get somewhat of a turkey vulture flight. Here we have another sharp-shinned hawk, and we ended up with over 100 sharp-shinned hawks today, so pretty steady flight, and we got great looks at a bunch of them. You can see the tail is real squared off or even a little bit notched, so this is probably a male, just a real small sharp-shin. Here is another first of year, and this is a bank swallow. So bank swallows are smaller than our other swallows, and they're brown on top. But on the underside, you really have this distinctive brown breast band that comes across. Northern rough-winged swallows are somewhat similar, but they kind of have a lot of kind of a dirty brown through the throat all the way onto the upper breast. Whereas on the bank swallows like this, the throat is white, the rest of the underside is white, except for this one band. Here we have a adult female northern harrier being chased away by a red-winged blackbird. Here we have an American kestrel that caught some kind of little rodent. Here we have a great egret flying overhead, and the one thing I like about egrets is even when you're directly below them, it's like their eyes can still see you. So just the way their eyes are positioned on their head, it's incredible, like all the directions that they can see. And here we have a bald eagle. This one is a juvenile, so born last year. So really dark head, even trailing edge to the wing, and it's a little bit faded on the belly. Here's another adult red-tailed hawk. This one pretty heavily marked. You see these real dark, big patagial bars, belly band, dark trailing edge to the wing indicates adult, along with the red tail. Here we have an osprey that caught a fish. Here we have a broad-winged hawk in a soar, and this is very typical of what we're seeing right now. With most of the, or actually all of the broadwings I've been able to age so far have been adults. It's common for the adults to migrate first because they have to get up to their nesting ground, and then later we get all of the juveniles. So we can see the wide white band on the tail. Just overall kind of a small chunky buteo. Wings look a little bit pointed. Dark trailing edge to the wing indicates adult, along with this tail pattern and also the barring on the breast. Here we have a juvenile northern harrier, and so it's mostly plain underneath. You know, it's got this tiny bit of streaking, but that's nowhere near as much as the adult females show, and plain patagial areas. Here we have another broad-winged hawk. This one's in a glide posture, and sometimes when they're gliding, they have a straight trailing edge to the wing. Other times they kind of point their wingtips back, but this really shows that they have pointy wingtips. And remember, broadwings only have 4 feathers that make up the wingtip. So we can see 1, 2, 3, 4. See that on both sides. Whereas red tails and red shoulders have 5, and so their wings look more rounded or more squared off. Broadwings only have 4, so they look more pointy. Here we have another bald eagle, and this is another juvenile born last summer, and we can see it's starting to replace these innermost primaries. We can see that on both sides. So it would have dropped the feather, and we can see the new ones growing in, and it's made it this far. And here we have a nice surprise that flew over at the end of the day. This is a juvenile red-shouldered hawk. He's missing a chunk out of his wing. That's probably not just regular molt. It looks like a couple feathers are missing there. But we can tell it's red-shouldered, mostly because of the pale crescents near the wingtip, which you can barely see here. And also note the wingtip is made up of 5 feathers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gives it a more rounded or squared off look. Relatively long tail compared to the other buteos. Not as big and bulky looking as a red tail. Not as compact and pointy looking as a broadwing. And here we have a purple martin, which is our largest swallow. If we take a look at eBird, today had 66 species. So overall, a pretty good day. Some new species, just a lot of variety, a lot of good looks at things, a lot of opportunities for photos. And if we look at HawkCount for our migrant raptor totals, we had 76 turkey vultures, 9 ospreys, 12 bald eagles, 23 northern harriers, 112 sharp-shinned hawks, 6 Cooper's hawks, 1 red-shouldered hawk, 22 broad-winged hawks, 16 red-tailed hawks. And for falcons, we had 8 kestrels, 2 merlins, and 2 peregrines, for a total of 289 migrants today. The new species we had for the season were savanna sparrow, chipping sparrow, bank swallow, and solitary sandpiper. The forecast for tomorrow, mostly sunny, high around 50, winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. So this is kind of similar to yesterday, but the winds will be a little bit lighter, which will be in our favor. So not the best wind direction ever. Northwest can be a cold wind. It would be better if it was more just west or southwest, but northwest is okay as long as they're not super strong. And so I think we'll get some migrants tomorrow. But the other problem will be just with the blue sky, it makes it very difficult to spot the birds, especially when they get up high. So yeah, should be a decent day. Should be bald eagles and stuff flying around. I'd imagine we'll have pretty good looks at things, and should be a fair amount of activity. But as far as spotting migrants, that might be more difficult. It's kind of the opposite of today, where everything was super low, just a constant stream of sharp shins. Tomorrow, things will be high and more difficult to spot. For Saturday, looking overcast with a high of 51, winds east at 15 to 30 kilometers per hour, 10 to 20 miles per hour. So for bird of prey days, not looking like the best weather conditions. Although if the winds stay more east rather than northeast, that's better. We might get some birds coming through low, some sharp shins and kestrels, things like that fighting into the wind. So I'm sure we'll see some stuff, but not looking like a huge migration day. And for Sunday, intervals of clouds and sun, high of 60. And this weather app was saying winds northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. We'll see what actually ends up happening. It might be that the winds start out more southerly, and then that's a lake breeze that's kicking in. It looks like if you go 10 or 20 miles inland, the winds are more southerly, which would be good. But again, we might have that lake breeze that kicks in and pushes the migrants away from us. So we'll watch it as we get closer. Has the possibility to maybe be a decent day, or if it really is a northeast wind, then might not be a good day. So we'll keep an eye on that. And again, as I've mentioned in my past couple videos, this weekend is Bird of Prey days. So starting tomorrow, April 22nd, with an evening program, and then during the day on Saturday and Sunday. So if you're interested, come out and join us at the Hawk Watch and participate in some of the presentations and programs. Should be a good time, and I hope to see a lot of people out there this weekend. All right, that's it for today. And it was a long day for me. I got to the Hawk Watch at 8 and I stayed until 7 p.m. because the birds were still flying because the sun came out. So I've been kind of rushing to get through all my photos and get everything uploaded and get through this video. So sorry if I seemed a little bit rushed today. I'm just trying to get everything finished up so I can go to bed and do it all again tomorrow. If you liked this video, please hit the like button and be sure to subscribe and hit the notifications bell so you don't miss any of these daily updates from the Braddock Bay Hawk Watch. This is David Brown. Thanks for watching.